Hi everyone, I'm Oralia Acosta with Nutrilicious by Oralia.
And I'm Veronique Eberhardt with Joyous Living. So today in this complementary training video, we want to talk to you about the four most important principles of getting healthy and losing weight. So what are those four most important principles that we want to talk
Well,
about?
I have some great news. Principle number one is to get excited about the journey. Yay! People that know me know that I do that a lot. And there's a lot of energy behind that. You're telling yourself, hey, I'm excited. I'm looking forward. I can do this compared to another weight
Another,
loss strategy.
yeah, another.
Get
Yes,
excited.
yes.
So remember, this is about the journey. And I know everyone has heard that over and over and over. This is not about the destination, it's about the journey. And we like to have fun. So the journey is going to be fun.
And we want to have a target, which is exciting. And when we reach that target, we can go even further.
Yes.
Because we're so excited about it.
Yes.
So this is really the first principle, going into the journey with excited expectation.
Yes.
The first thing. I think the second principle we want to talk about today is really choosing wisely your nutritional diet, the nutritional component of any program. Choosing wisely. What does that mean, Aurelia?
Exactly. That means that we're going to be eating foods that are sustainable. In other words, it's something that you can eat over and over and not just a one-time thing. And not
You mean not
many...
not a powder?
No, not a powder. No, you get to eat real food. And so this is something that has been proven over and over for its efficacy. And we're going to discover what fuels your body. Not just eating for eating's sakes, but what fuels your body, what gives you energy. So there won't be any calorie counting, which is been there, done that, and it's proven to not work. And we're not also going to be looking at macros. That's a new thing, macros. We're going to be doing what your body tells it to do. And so one of the things that I like to do is listen to my body. And I encourage all the people that I work with to listen to their bodies, to see what their body is saying. Because what works for me may not work for you at all.
So the second most important principle is a sun diet, something that is based on real food,
yes,
not fads,
yes,
and on listening to your body, listening
yes,
to the cue that your body is telling you.
Yes.
This is really very important. And we can do that. The key is to know which food we can't have. And the foods that are really detrimental to our health are the foods that are actually pro-inflammatory.
Yes.
Am I correct?
When you're fueling your body to get optimal performance, just like your car, and this is much more valuable than a car, your body is, you're going to be looking for foods that work well, foods that make you feel great, alert, attentive, bright.
So for me, cake is making me feel great. Is that the right food?
I suspect there's a little something going on there, Veronique. And I suspect it has to do with the mind-body approach.
Oh, yes. You mean sabotaging and emotional eating. Yes. And this is our third principle of getting healthy and losing weight, is that we need absolutely to understand the force and the importance that emotional eating has in our life. And we can't leave that on the side as if it's a lack of willpower.
Exactly.
So what we really want to bring to you is this working with a diet which is actionable, which is sustainable, which is doctor approved, but not let you with all the craving and all the emotional upheaval or whatever it is that you can have, the hurdle of not eating your favorite food. Because a lot of the time there's two things that are happening. We use food as reward or soothing ourselves after a difficult day.
Yes.
And the second thing, the food is reminding us of happy events or happy people.
Right.
So in both instances, the food itself is not what is important. It's the relationship we have to the food.
Exactly.
And this is what we call emotional eating. We eat to fill an emotional gap. So how can we take care of that? I love to use a tool from energy psychology, which is using the energetic of the body to really go into what it means for me to eat that type of food. For example, if I crave this cookie, this particular cookie, what does it remind me of? Does it remind me of my mother, my grandmother cooking? So what is it that I really want from that food? Do I need the food, or am I craving the love of my grandmother? And there is, with in energy psychology, we can work on that relationship with the food. We can work on that link and dissociate the love that we crave with the food that we think we crave. Does it make sense?
Yes, that is so interesting, because what happens is that most programs or most diets tell you eat this, don't eat that, and then you're left to fend for yourself.
Exactly.
And then what happens is you cannot fend for yourself when it comes to emotions and cravings that have this association that you mentioned.
Exactly.
And then we end up hating ourselves and sabotaging ourselves. And it's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah. So we need to get to the root of what sabotage is for you, because it can be one thing for one person,
exactly,
and something totally different for another person.
Exactly.
Like it can be for one person, the sabotaging can take the form of working very hard through all the day, eating all the right food,
and then at night
it's like, I've had such a terrible day, my willpower is empty, there is gone. So then we need to give you the tools to see that, acknowledge that clearly, see what's happening in your life. Whether is it what is it that you need when you take that food? Is that you're bored? Is that you're frustrated? What is all the emotion that are playing out? So we have tools. I'm using energy psychology, and that's what I bring to people. And we also have pure coaching tools that we bring.
Yes. Well, what I would tell my clients is to look for something else to replace the ritual of having something sweet after you eat a meal. That's the type of person I am. I'm one of those rituals. I need something sweet. So in order to divert my attention from that craving, from that desire for something sweet, I go for a walk, I listen to music, I play with my puppy, or I have an herbal tea that's flavored, no sugar. But that is alone enough, because it's warm and it brings up feelings of pleasure and soothing. That's enough to divert my attention. And then the next thing you know, I'm off coaching a client or on the phone setting an appointment or something, and I forget about my craving.
So this is a tool from comportment, behavioral tools, behavioral tools, and energy psychology tools, and all kind of tools that you need. You absolutely need to have an all arsenal of tools to make it work and to make it exciting, because we want to keep it exciting. We want you to know that at any moment on the journey, there is a solution. Any problem comes with a solution.
Exactly. Okay. Or more than one.
Or more than one sometimes.
And remember, we're committed to making this fun. I personally love
Yes,
fun.
I'm always committed to make everything fun. You need to. And really, that's really what is bringing us to our fourth important principle about losing weight, which is it has to be fun and exciting, as we said, but you have to see yourself as being phenomenal.
Yes.
Getting phenomenal and loving yourself.
Yes.
Both are going together, like so important. I always say we can't hate ourselves thin.
Exactly.
We can't hate ourselves healthy.
Exactly.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
There is a contradictory in terms there.
And criticizing ourselves and being judgmental and being so harsh that we often are in tears, that's not helping either.
So what can we do?
So what we can do is, if let's say that you're at a party and everybody around you is having a piece of cake or mousse, chocolate mousse, one of my favorites, and you are standing there deciding whether to have it or not, and you decide you're not going to have it, but you also are feeling very deprived, feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you don't fit in. So what about if you reframe that, Veronique, and you think, wow, I am so proud of myself. I'm here and I've made it this far without eating all the other foods, and now it's dessert time. And you know what? I choose not to eat that food. I choose to continue to fuel my body. and I'm not going to eat it. So I'm going to go out for a walk or go out and do something else where people aren't eating or aren't eating the sweets, or I'm going out to the other room where there aren't foods that will tempt me.
Yes.
You remove yourself from the situation, but it all starts here with the reframing, with the mindset.
Yes. And that's very important, because what we do most of the time is we criticize, or we start eating the food and then we start criticizing ourselves.
Yes.
So we start eating the food and then we beat ourselves up
for having eaten it. So then we just say, screw it, I'm going to have more. I've already blown it. And then it's just a cat or a dog that chases its tail. And we just end up where we don't want to be. And this is why diets don't work.
And this is really what we want to really bring to you.
Right.
Like
interrupt.
Drive it to you. Listen to that. You just can't hate yourself thin. Repeat after me, Aurelia.
Yes.
You just can't hate yourself thin. And this is really interesting. I'd like to bring an exercise to you so that you really understand what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
To do that? So just close your eyes. Sit comfortably and really put your feet in the ground. Take a big breath. And close your eyes, because I'm going to ask you to visualize something. And it's easier if you close your eyes. It's easier to look into your mind's eyes. Look into your mind's eyes and visualize a child, a small child. The child is about 6-7 years old and is on the soccer field or on the football field. And the child is going to throw the ball. And look at this child. What is the child wearing? How is the child feeling? Here comes a mean, big, old adult, big, mean coach. And the big, mean coach is looking at the child while the child is throwing the ball. And the child throws the ball and the child misses. Here comes the coach in your mind's eyes. What are you doing? How dare you miss? I told you to practice. You haven't practiced. You haven't worked on your throwing the ball. What are you doing? You're so bad. Really like that, with that intensity. The coach is coming on the child. And the child is much smaller than this big adult. And the coach is really mad, saying, I've told you to do this and to do that, and you never do what I'm telling you to do. How dare you? Throw again. And the child throw again. Do you think the child is going to be successful? Maybe, but most probably not.
Will quit altogether.
Yeah, most probably not. He's going to throw, and each time he's throwing and he's missing, the coach is coming and like beating the child up. How dare you? Practice. At some point, the child is going to make it, and it's going to actually successfully throw the ball. Here comes the mean coach. See? It took a long time. Why didn't you do it sooner? Finally, you made it. It's about time. All of that. What do you think the child is doing? How do you think the child is reacting? See, the child is your mind eyes.
Not happy.
What is the emotion?
Ready to quit.
Ready to quit. Defeated.
Exactly.
Yeah, really no joy. Ready to quit. And that's really what I want you to understand. This child is just wanting to be loved and to be lifted up, to be successful in throwing the ball. But the mean coach is not letting that child loving himself or loving herself and successfully in throwing the ball. And this is really what we do to ourselves.
Oh my gosh, I never realized that.
Yeah, this is really what we do to ourselves. We are really trying to criticize ourselves on the way to success.
Right.
And it doesn't work.
It does not work.
It doesn't work. Would you do that to a friend, Aurelia?
No.
Would you tell the friend who ate a piece of cake, how dare you eat that cake? I told you not to eat that cake. You know your diet is ruined.
Go ahead, eat the rest. Eat the whole cake.
Eat the whole cake.
Not just a slice.
Just like what? Now that you ate like this piece, just eat it all. Would you say that to your friend?
No, I would not.
Isn't that what we say? Tell ourselves. This is really this voice in our head. How we treat ourselves with so much meanness. Can you say
Yes.
that, meanness in English?
Yes.
Yes, how being so mean with ourselves. So this is really our this principle of loving ourselves and really loving ourselves thin and loving ourselves healthy. It's not easy. Oh boy, it's not easy.
That's not how we're taught.
That's not how we taught.
Society teaches you otherwise. You have to look
Yes.
like the model on the cover of Marie Claire or
And
something
yes,
else.
and you have
very
to
few
suffer.
do. Yes.
And you have to suffer
get
your way
there.
through to
Yes.
get there.
And so
we really want to drive that to you, that we have the tools to really help you change the perspective on yourself and on being healthy and eating healthy,
right,
and losing weight,
right,
like shifting the perspective on what
Exactly.
it takes to
A
really
Yes.
reframing what it really takes to have a successful, healthy, and body that you really feel comfortable with.
Right.
So that's really that's our first principle of losing weight. Be awesome, be amazing,
Be phenomenal. Be you.
phenomenal. Be you and love yourself in the
Exactly.
process.
Regardless of what you weigh or how you look right
Yeah.
now. That's the only way you're going to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
You can't start off at A and get to Z without going to B,
Yes.
C, D, E, F, all the way up there.
All the way through, but always with a lot of compassion for
Yes.
yourself.
And excitement. Remember we talked about that?
And we know that changing a diet to make it healthy is not easy. It is not easy because there is this sugar addiction that everybody
Yes.
talks about.
Yes.
Addiction. And this is not your fault. We want you to understand that it's not your fault if you're having so much trouble.
Right.
You need the right tools, and we can bring you the right tools. But tell us about this sugar addiction thing.
So everybody or anybody that knows something about sugar, and more this is becoming a known fact, sugar is a drug. It is 10 times more effective than cocaine. And there are studies that have proven this, so it's not just us saying it. So what happens is that because it does bring us pleasure, we look to it when we're experiencing a moment of stress, when we just had a long, hard day, had an issue at work, drove in horrible traffic. You're going for something to release that stress or something to take you out of the unnatural state of stress. Because when we're born as babies, we're blissful. You notice babies are always laughing and playing and joyful and giggling, and they play with their feet and everything else they can find. And so that's our natural state. The moment that we feel something that's outside of our natural blissful state, we look for something to put us back into that blissful state. And sugar does a pretty darn good job of that. It actually releases endorphins, and then it becomes an addiction. And that's why you reach for that.
Yes.
But I have something that I teach my clients, which is very important. Number one, I teach them reframe. And I also ask them, what if that craving that you're having for sugar after an argument that you had with your husband, what if that is something, no, not you, of course. What if that is a messenger telling you, hey, you really need to sit down and look at this situation. You need to deal with it. You need to tend to that matter, as an Australian friend of mine used to say, because it will not go away on its own. It will not get better, and you will continue to reach for sugar, and you will continue to be in this perpetual cycle of weight gain and all of the other complications and issues that brings with it.
Yeah. So this is really the work of transformational coaching.
Yes.
And life coaching.
Yes.
And this is really what I love about working with you, is that we really bring the best of
both worlds.
Which is nutritional coaching and life and transformational coaching, because we need both.
Yes.
We really do need both.
Yes.
And Aurelia, you know everything about losing weight. You've been losing 35 kilos.
I know.
And you're a sugar junkie.
I was a sugar junkie, and I was one of those people that absolutely had to have something sweet after every meal. And I remember when I lived in Italy, people looked at me like I was out of my mind. And for all accounts and purposes, I was. Because there they have something sweet maybe once every 10, 15 days.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like now, but I know that this something sweet after a meal is a typical traditional American habit.
Yes. Yeah.
So what I like to do is I like to teach. I'll give you some tips, some practical tips. That's what we
Yeah.
mentioned in this at the beginning of this video. One of the things that you can do is if you're one of those people that is used to eating something sweet after every meal, look for something else that brings you pleasure after you eat. So look for um, tea. I have a flavored tea that I don't add any sugar to, and it doesn't have any artificial ingredients either, and it's very soothing. Go for a walk. Call up a friend. Call up your coach if you're with your coach. Text your coach. Or even what I do is I play with my puppy. That brings me immense pleasure.
Yes.
When you play with your dogs or your cats, that releases endorphins, which is the same thing that you would get from your sugar high.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next thing you know is I'm off to coach a client. I've got an appointment or I'm setting an appointment, and I do that and I forget about sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, and really this is that's what you experience for yourself. And actually, interestingly enough, you told me that this is all this journey you went through, your weight loss, is what motivated you to become a health coach yourself.
That's right.
And all the misery that you were feeling, emotional misery you were feeling, and this is really what also drove me to become a emotional like an expert in emotional eating or coaching and emotional experts. I started also like Aurelia as a health coach, and I realized that like Aurelia, I had clients or like Aurelia who were really having problems, not with knowing what they have to eat, but really with the emotions. And it was very difficult. People know what they have to eat. They know that they have to stop eating cake and pizza. You know, most of the time people know. But I could not go across them stopping the food and get them to stop what was really very bad. You know, they were having being diabetics and all those things. And I could not do that because I was always being confronted to the emotional eating, to the emotional problem, to the memory of the need to get to be soothed, to need to get rewards. So I started coaching them out of emotional eating. And not starting to coach them how to eat properly. That was useless. So I started to for those clients. And then once once you start to coach people out of emotional eating, then they have to learn to eat right.
Then you look at the practical aspect.
Yes. So the both sides need to be together. You know, you just can't wish yourself thin. You can, but you also cannot ignore the fact that there is a huge emotional strain on eating. Eating is a huge emotional component to it. It does. A lot of what we do in life when we eat is emotional. And it's good, you know.
We're emotional beings.
We're emotional beings, but we need to really sort it out. So this is really what we propose in our program. So as we get going on that training, we said we would give tips, and I hope you got a lot of tips already. But I'd like you to give us a few more tips, Aurelia, about that we can bring home and use right now.
One of the things that I do, and I still do this, is when I wake up in the morning, I write down 3 things that I love about myself, or 3 things that I'm grateful. Now, since we're talking about body and body image issues and what have you, and eating, I would suggest that you wake up every morning and write down 3 things that you love about your body. It can be something simple as my eyebrows. It can be something simple as the color of my polish. I love my hands. I love my feet. I love that. I love the dress. I love how I look when I wear that dress. I love how that color looks on me. Because this will keep you in a positive state of mind and start off your day from a positive platform. And I think that's so important. And something else that you might want to do is actually write down, I love and accept myself just the way I am, and put that on your computer, put it on your bulletin board, put it on your mirror, so that when you look up, you see it, and it's a reminder to love yourself. That's the only way you're going to change, is when you love and accept yourself, when you're an allowance of whatever happens.
And this is a very, very, very important tools. Another tools that I like, more practical tools, and you're going to tell me more about that, because some of it comes from you and some of that comes from my former training as a health coach, is when we think we're hungry, most of the time we're actually thirsty. when we have a headache or when we think we're hungry, a lot of the time is dehydration.
Yes.
And a lot of the time you're hungry, don't grab some food. First thing, go and find some water. And what I liked about what you brought to me recently is you have a salt, put some salt in the water.
Yes.
And you had to give it to me because I would not have
You
done it
wouldn't
by
have done it
myself.
on yourself.
If you
Yes.
tell me just like put some salt into your water, I would have said you're crazy.
It's counterintuitive, but
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
it's really something. I'm one of those people that was always thirsty. So what that tells me is that the water was endogenous. It was outside of the cells.
Yes.
So the way to get the water into the cells so that they feel quenched and you're not always thirsty and bloated as a consequence is to add salt. So I add Himalayan salt to my water and lemon. The lemon detoxes, and the sodium in the salt ensures that it goes into the cell, and I'm not as thirsty or as hungry.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be thirsty all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
Yes, and now I have my water, and it really satisfies me.
It's amazing.
It's like eating.
And
there is virtually no calorie outside of the lemon juice, which is really like nothing. And you get the vitamin C from the lemon juice, and it's so satisfying. I cannot describe it. I love it. It's like it's like I'm not snacking anymore.
Yes.
I'm going to my water, and it's like actually having food. So how much how much salt would you put in your water?
I would start off with maybe about 1/8 of a teaspoon in 8 ounces of water.
Yes.
And then increase. And I add it to all my water. And when I don't, I can tell the difference.
Yes.
And make sure that that water is nice and cold, because it is like a completely different, it's like a beverage all to its own.
Yeah. And of course, half a lemon juice, something like that, or the juice of half a lemon.
I add half a lemon to about 1.5 quarts of water, and I drink it all day long.
Yes.
Yeah. I drink more than that, but not as much as I used to because.
So try it out. This is an amazing tip. If you haven't tried that, I know a lot of my friends, my French friends are listening to me. Wow! Do you know what I told them? I said, it's like eating oysters. Sorry, I should not say that to American friends, because the saltiness and the lemon saltiness is what we have.
Very good.
We have that in the French cooking a lot, and we don't realize that.
Oh, wow.
With all the seafood, seafood. The seafood is always like very salty and lemonous.
Wow,
we use a lot of lemon. So, but this, it's water and salt and lemon.
And you can do it starting today. So
yes.
Try it. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but at least you tried.
Yes, exactly. At least you try. And if it's not for you, it's okay. There is no pressure. Anyway, I think we gave a pretty big overview of everything that people can get from working with us. And I know now what you want to know is, what is this program about? What are we giving them? What are we proposing? What are we giving you? So why don't you start?
So we have put together a 30-day program, or a 4-week program, called Get Healthy, Lose the Weight. And that program consists of 4 weekly group health coaching sessions. I'm going to be doing the practical aspect, which is the health and wellness coaching. And I'm going to talk to you about the food that's permissible. I'm going to share recipes. I'm going to give you menus so you don't have to worry about putting this together yourself. The recipes are under 30 minutes, are super easy. I'm going to tell you where you can find the ingredients and the best ones to look for. And then I'm also going to throw in bonuses. Let you talk about what you're coaching.
So what you're saying, that it's not only food, but also you have, because you're, as a coach, you're gonna give some behaviors and tips like you were doing today.
Yes.
And on top of the 4 weekly group session you're going to have with Aurelia, you're going to have 4 weekly group emotional coaching sessions. So it's every week, it's 1 session with Aurelia and 1 session with me. So the nutrition part and the emotional part, every week you're going to have that. So a 4 weekly group emotional session where I'm going to lead you through various processes to help you release the emotional eating. Help you release the blocks and all the limiting beliefs that you have around food, that like being healthy has to be difficult, and also all the emotions that you don't want to get rid of. Sometimes we just want to feel, like people are telling me, but then if you take my chocolate away, what am I going to have in life?
Right.
Well, I'm not going to take your chocolate away, believe me, but I'm going to give you the freedom to choose chocolate when you really want chocolate. This
Right.
is what I can do for you. This is what I can do for you. Like, give you back your freedom to choose to have chocolate now or not. And this is about really deprogramming the cravings and all the emotions that are linked to the food. So it's pretty powerful tool. You're going to it's going to change your life. I mean,
Yes.
my clients are all telling that it's going to change your life. So all the sessions are being recorded.
Yes.
Yeah. And
So
why do we do that?
So you can listen to them over and over. And I guarantee you that even if you've done the session, when you go back to listen to it, you're going to pick up new information that you're going to be wondering, wow, I didn't even hear that. I completely missed that.
Yeah. And once the program is over, you keep those recordings.
Right. They're yours
So,
forever.
if you want to keep listening to it, well, just do it.
That.
So this is going to be in your library forever.
Yes.
Basically. And then you're going to have 24/7 access to us through Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can post your comment, question, and Aurelia and I will answer those questions. But because we want to give you maximum success, we've been adding a few bonuses.
Yes.
So one of the bonus is I'm going to do and give you 4 tapping meditation so that you can just meditation. It's a 5 to 10 minute tapping meditation that you can do by yourself in the morning or whenever you feel the need, or you need a craving, or you feel the need to be reinforced in your journey.
Right.
So you're going to have that for yourself. Again, it's a recording, so you can listen to that at your leisure. Then we're going to give you some free one-on-one sessions. I'm going to give you a free 30-minute sessions. So just to go through this really problem you're having, this pain point that you cannot really define, or that you don't really want to bring into a group, but it's trying to get into a one-to-one.
Yeah.
It's a one-to-one to really get into your something that is really bugging you and that you really need to talk about. So, and then, and also to support you, see how we can support you after this journey. Because we don't want to leave you after the journey, after the 30 days. We don't want to
leave you hanging.
We don't want to do that.
And my bonus is 2 30-minute sessions. One during the course of the program for any issue, again, that you don't want to discuss with others present. We can address that offline. Mm-hmm. And then an exit interview, again, or an exit session, because we want to see what the next step is for you. Again, we don't want to leave you hanging. We are as committed as you are to having you maintain the success that you've achieved. Yeah. And we guarantee you will achieve success. This program is very powerful.
So this alone, those sessions, private sessions, is well over $300.
Yes.
Yes. So
indeed.
This is really, this is the program. So 8 sessions together, and then we are having all the session recorded, and then we're having private Facebook, we're having the bonuses, awesome bonuses.
Yes.
So your question is,
how much does it cost?
Yes, what is your investment for that?
Yes.
And frankly, we know how much it costs and how much it should cost. Yeah.
So this program, as you can imagine, is worth well over $2,000.
Yeah.
However, we're not going to charge you that, or we're not going to ask that you invest that. No. Why? Because it's a pilot program, and you will be the first to experience this, to go on this exciting journey with us. And in return, all we're asking for is that you give us your honest feedback, that you share what we could do better, what we could improve, or what we left out, and that you give us referrals and testimonials. That is very important to us. And so what is your investment? Only $747.
$747.
That is a giveaway. That is well over 70% off, and it's so amazing that even I would like to do it, only I'm giving it, and we're already coaching each other.
And really, the fact that it's a pilot program is very important for you. First of all, that means it's a one-time price.
Yes.
Second, it means that you're going to be partner in our journey. So this is really why we want to give you that awesome price, because you're going to help us. So we are partner in your journey of getting healthy and losing weight, and you are a partner of our journey to put this pilot program even to make it even more awesome.
Yes.
So let me tell you, you're going to be pampered. So if you like what you hear, and if you think you want to work with us, Really, and if you're ready to gain your energy, if you're ready to eliminate cravings, avoid the afternoon slump.
Yes.
Just get rid of the afternoon slump. And the brain fog. Just eliminate brain fog. How much would that be worth to you?
That alone is priceless.
How much would it be worth to you to just not having brain fog anymore? Lower your stress. You're going to lower, emotional freedom technique is a proven tool to eliminate stress, and it's going to be handed to you. So you don't have foggy brain, your stress is down. What's going to happen?
You're going to raise your mood, brighten your mood.
Brighten your moods.
Improve your relationships.
Yes, and then in the process, then you're going to lose weight. That we guarantee. Naturally. Yes. This is releasing the weight, with a healthy mind and body. You start approach,
exactly.
You release the weight. So really, this is about the program. This is all what we can say about this very comprehensive program, pilot program, that we really would love to have you a part of. And we hope you're going to be part of our journey, because we really want to be part of yours.
Yes.
Yes.
So click on the link below. And if you have any questions, you can contact us via email, or you can even phone us. We do look forward to hearing from you and taking this exciting journey together with us.
Yes. And I'm Veronique Eberhardt with Joyous Living.
And I'm Oralia Acosta with Nutralicious by Oralia. Bye-bye.
Bye.